Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome, finally, to part 22, apparently, I've not counted them, of my series where I talk about every episode of classic Star Trek, not the new stuff, from the original series up to Enterprise. And we're up to Season 4 of Voyager. Just bear with me, I've made a horrendous mistake. There we go. That's better, isn't it? I wasn't green down there. Anyway, sorry, I'm miles away now. I forgot what I'm doing. Right, so we're up to Season 4 of Voyager, which is possibly the best season in my opinion. But anyway, we'll get into it. I've probably forgot about some episodes and I'll have to remind myself. But anywho, before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube, I hope. Yep, and we should be live on Rumble. Let's refresh that because it never just starts, because Rumble's stupid. You're never going to compete. Come on, you're coming on. Hello. I think we're live on Rumble. It says we are, but it's not showing a picture. Let's refresh it again and see if it comes on. There I am. Except I'm frozen. I think Rumble's having problems. Never mind. Never mind. Right, so what else? Explore the description for links for stuff like merch, USS Alcide, me books. Am I frozen on YouTube too? That's what Windgrace says. Oh, it says, oh, there I go. I've started moving again. Oh, yes, it keeps freezing on YouTube as well. It says I've got an excellent connection. It does. It says I've got an excellent connection. Yeah, I'm freezing up. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, I don't know. We'll see how we go. It's nothing at my end, so it must be them. It must be them. Well, me books. Mercury Rapids, light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff. Silent Predator, short horror novella about genetically engineered big cats eating people in the North Yorkshire village. Should I write another one? Should I write another book? I've got plenty of ideas. I just never got round to writing them. And it's been a long time since I've written anything. But anyway. Anywho. Right, is that it? What else? Oh, check out my websites. Links in the description for my websites and my other channels and all that stuff. And my social medias and Spotify. My Patreon, which I've opened up again. Just uploaded the video to just now, actually, minutes before I went live. What else? Become a member and you get early access videos and exclusive videos. Hang on, where's my banner? There we go. Let's show the banner at the bottom. There we go for a minute. What were I saying? Become a member and you get all that cool stuff and all that stuff. Windgrace says, well, Neil Gaiman is too busy being in trouble to steal it this time. Haha, yes, because he stole my Doctor Who idea. Maybe. A bit of a coincidence. But anyway. Those happen. What else? Is that it? Yeah, right. So, Season 4 of Star Trek Voyager. This is the season that they got rid of Kez and they brought in 7 of 9 for the dads. Bit of sex appeal for the dads. But anyway, so right, we'll get on with it. We'll go through each episode. I'm not gonna dwell on each episode. I always start off going in detail in the episodes, but I'm not gonna this time. He says, right. So I'll just add that to the stage then. There we go. It's there, honest. It is. Right, let's do my plug for the members. Right. Is it going to come on? Is it going to show? It's going to display. There we go. So, remember, previously, in Season 3, the end of Season 3, the first episode is Scorpion Part 2. They've entered Borg space, lots of Borg cubes, but there's an enemy that is destroying the Borg. That we learn is called Species 8472. It's right, isn't it? I think it is. Whatever. And all that cool stuff. What's happening here now? I think the computer's just frozen up. Oh no, it hasn't. There we go. Is it coming? Is it? Stuff's happening. and not working properly. Maybe it is my computer then. Maybe it is my computer. Am I still frozen on YouTube and stuff? Right, let's come on again now. Unbelievable. Am I still frozen on YouTube? Oh, seem okay now. Seem okay now. Unbelievable. Anyway. Yeah, so at the end of the last episode, Jamie decided to cut a deal with the Borg, because species 8472 is super dangerous. They just want to wipe out all life in our galaxy, so they said. Kez is in like telepathic contact with them. So we've only Kez's word for it, really, haven't we? She could be lying for all we know, because she does turn bad later, much later. But anyway, what else? Right, so she cuts a deal with the Borg, and while they are sorting out that deal, species 8472 attacks, blows up a Borg planet, and we end as the Voyager is being whisked away. I'm going to show it. Skip forward. There we go. Being whisked away, tractor beamed by a Borg cube. So anyway, so there we go. So that's how it begins. But don't worry, everything's fine. All these other cubes get destroyed, but luckily the Borg that's tractoring Voyager is okay. So anyway, so they do the deal. They're going to create nano probes that'll kill 8472 and destroy their ships and stuff, because the Borg haven't been able to find a defence against them. So they do all that basically. Kez is still having visions and telepathic connection with species 8472. That's why she's doing that. Oh, my eyes go funny then. But the Borg want to assimilate, or partially assimilate, Janeway and some of her crew to help them along, to help them develop the weapon more quickly. But she says, no, we're not doing that. If you're trying to assimilate us, the deal's off. We'll destroy Voyager and all that stuff. So this is where it says, designate one drone like you did with Locutus to speak for you, and we will deal with them. So that's when we're introduced to 7 of 9. There she is, played by the lovely Jerry Ryan, and somehow still looks hot when she's under all this stuff. It's weird, isn't it? But anyway, yeah. So they do all that. They develop a weapon. It works. They end up going. They end up going into Borg space, not Borg space. Species 8472 space, fluidic space. That's what it's called. Destroy some ships. The Borg try to double cross them, but obviously they defeat them. There we go. There they are in fluidic space. They disconnect 7 of 9 from the collective, so that's how she ends up staying on Voyager, and off they go, carrying on their merry way. Somehow they're still in Borg space though, so but anyway, don't worry about that. And off they go to their next episode. But yeah, Scorpion is probably my favourite Voyager episode. There's both parts. I think it's really, really good, really strong. Not a big fan of these bits with Leonardo da Vinci. I'm not a big fan of the Voyager Leonardo da Vinci. Everybody, we all love John Rhys Davies, but I'm not a fan of his Leonardo, even though I did a drawing of him as Leonardo and got it autographed by the great man himself at a convention. But anyway, never mind. Wingret says the only Borg besides the Queen to have form-fitting components. It seems so, doesn't it? The Borg men seem to be generally pretty, I don't know, baggy, I suppose you could say. The Borg women, well, I don't know. I only remember a couple of other Borg women. I don't know. There's been a few though. Now I think about it, haven't there? Yeah, I think so. Only 7 of 9 in the Borg Queen, showing off their curves. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, Scorpions Part 1 and 2, great stuff. I think it's up there with Best of Both Worlds in my opinion. I love Scorpion Part 1 and 2. But anyway, so there we go. So that's that one. S tier. If this were a rating thing, it'd be in the S tier for me. I keep meaning to do a rating thing, a tier list for stuff, because I've signed up for that tier maker bloody page and stuff, and I keep forgetting. Got to think of something to do. Anyway. Right, next episode. Here we go, episode 2. Look, the Voyager's still got its Borg modifications on. I think they're getting rid of them in this episode. I think B'Elanna and her team are stripping off the Borg modifications, and she says some of the stuff is actually better with the Borg mods. So Jamie says keep them then. So I suppose Voyager for the rest of its journey is partially assimilated. Is this the gift? Yes, episode 2 is the gift. This is where we lose Kez, directed by Anson Williams, best known. I forgot who he played now. He was in Happy Days, wasn't he? Played one of the characters in Happy Days. I forgot. I'll have to check. Oh, pardon me. Potsy. There we go. Played Potsy in Happy Days, didn't he? Did Anson Williams. Went on to become a popular TV director. Anyway, for some reason, I don't know why, is it because of 847? I don't know if it explains it in the episode, does it? Let me check, hang on. I can't remember if it explains it. Why she suddenly becomes super powerful. But Kez suddenly becomes super powerful with her telepathic powers. I don't know if it explains it, I can't remember. I don't know if it does or not, it doesn't say there, I'm just checking the plot description. Is it because of her contact with Species 8472? Did that give her a boost? I don't know. Wingrace says I'm freezing again, but now it's back. Oh God, is it going to be one of those bloody nights? Is it going to be one of those nights? It seems okay. Unbelievable. Wingrace says I think it was building already, and then they supercharged her. Maybe so. I mean, it could also be because we've had that, the episode where she met those other Ocampans on that station, didn't she? With the Suspiria, hate that name, for the other caretaker alien. So maybe that gave her a boost as well. Anyway, right. So where were we? So that's happening. She's becoming super powerful. Is this the episode? Or was that the other one? There was an episode where she melts Tuvok's face. Is that this one? I can't remember. That might have been the previous one. But anyway. They've got to deal with 7 of 9 because they've got her unconscious in sick bay, and obviously she's not. They've shut off a subspace beeper thing. By the way, if you can hear any background noise, I've got sound effects going. So they've got to deal with that and all that stuff. So anyway, so basically the upshot of this episode is they're trying to persuade 7 of 9, Annika Hansen, to become more human and stay on board as a crew member, which obviously she does, but she's not happy about it at the start. Kez becomes super powerful, then she can't control her powers, and she's in a danger to Voyager. So she leaves. I think they give her a shuttle. She gets to a shuttle, doesn't she? And she leaves, and they're all crying and stuff because they gotta say goodbye. Anyway, so off she goes. Meanwhile, hang on. There we go. She gives them a gift there. She goes to pick up. She's kind of doing what that fella did in Next Generation episode Transfigurations. She's kind of ascending, sort of, but not quite. She turns into energy, and her parting gift is she throws Voyager several thousand light years closer to the Alpha Quadrant. So that's what she does. She says, "This is my gift to you," and off they go. Whee! Just like Q, like that. And she throws them clear of Borg space. That's the main gist of it. So that was lucky, wasn't it, that happened? Her parting gift is "Hallowed are the Ori," as she blasts them away. Yes, hallowed are the Ori. I could be a prior, couldn't I? I've got pale enough skin. because they never get any sun. Oh dear. So they're being thrown near a nebula. Lots of nebulas in this season, I think. Anyway, and then we see 7 of 9. There she is in her new get-up, where the Doctor's even given her high heels look. Because the Doctor's done all this for her. He's stimulated her hair follicles to make her hair grow. He said, how does he put it? I can't remember, but because he's bald, you see, so you know. Anyway, and give her some clothes in which she can't breathe. Well, the actress couldn't because there's all these loads of wire stuff in to keep her. But yes, I think Rick Berman programmed the Doctor. Yes, not Dr. Zimmerman. Yes, this is all Rick Berman's doing because he likes the ladies. But so did Gene Roddenberry. It's probably why they got on, I suppose, in the early days of TNG. But yeah. They know what the dads want, don't they? They know what sells, and it does sell. And it did, because Voyager became more popular after this, didn't it? Probably got its best ratings since when 7 of 9 joined. But anyway, here she is, in a silver suit. I don't think this lasts very long, does it? I don't think. But anyway, so there we go. So now she's staying behind, and there she is, looking well fit. So there we go. So that's the gift. An okay episode, you know, because it follows on pretty much from Scorpion. And we're essentially beginning 7 of 9's story arc as a journey to become more human, although she never really embraces it fully, does she? She never becomes Annika Hansen again, even when we see her in Picard season 2 and 3 and all that. Or whenever we see her, I've forgotten. But anyway, so there we go. So that's the gift. A decent episode. Silver suit looks more sci-fi than her main purple carpet, but oh well, that says Windgrace. Yes, it's like a Dr. Evil designed suit. We like her quasi-futuristic clothes. Anyway, I presume that the other suit was more comfortable for her, because she did complain that she couldn't breathe in this thing, couldn't she? But anyway, so there we go. So that's the gift. A decent episode. Next up is one, I don't know if I like it or not. I did. Well, one that I generally skipped because it's a B'Elanna focused one, and I don't know. There's something about B'Elanna that I wasn't a fan of, but you know, she's all right. But this one's not as bad as I recalled. This has got Day of Honor. Hang on. Yes, Day of Honor. I think it's Day of Honor's next. Yes, it is. Day of Honor's next. A B'Elanna-centric episode where she's basically having a bad day. She's supposed to be not celebrating, but commemorating the Klingon Day of Honor. So Neelix is giving her Klingon food and all that stuff. And she says, I can't be bothered with it, but you know, what the heck. 7 of 9 struggling to fit in and all that. I like Vorik's in this episode, bless him. I like Vorik. Anyway, stuff happens. I can't really remember what, but they end up. Something happens with the warp core. I can't remember what happens with the warp core in this. Let me have a look at the plot details. But they've got to eject it, and I can't remember why. It doesn't say. Never mind. Something happens to the warp. Windgrace will tell me in a minute, I imagine. And she's got to eject the warp core, so she's not having a good day. I think they were experimenting with something to make it more efficient. I think, or to make the warp core, the warp mixture and all that stuff. I can't remember the balance of the engine, whatever, you know, to make it more efficient, to save fuel, and they end up losing the core and loads of fuel as well, I think. But anyway, so she's not having a good day. But so when they're going, there she's doing her, you know, Klingon crap, and she's not happy about it. Alright, this is where they've been getting closer of Tom and B'Elanna, and this is the episode in which they, you know, express their true feelings for each other. Well, she does for him anyway, later. They come across these aliens who are refugees from the Borg, and they're not happy that she's there, 7 of 9. But anyway, but they try and steal the warp core, or they claim it as salvage. But there it is. And but it all goes wrong, I think. They go, end up shooting at that ship, and they end up, their shuttle gets destroyed, so they end up in space suits, and they beam out into space. There we go. As their shuttle gets destroyed, and then Voyager arrives, but they think they're going to die, and she says, "I love you," and he goes, "I know," because he thinks he's bloody Han Solo. I know, not quite, but Winger says, "I don't remember, but if it's in the 7 of 9 episode, it was probably her sticking nano probe into it to do magic, probably, or something." First appearance of the spacesuits on TV, I have no idea. I'd never even thought about it. Maybe it is, I don't know. It could be. Anyway, maybe it says in the let's have a look. Day of Honour at Memory Alpha. Let's have a look at that. That'll tell us, won't it, if it's the first appearance of the spacesuits. Does it say? God, Memory Alpha's a terribly designed website, isn't it? I bloody hate wiki pages. It's all pop-ups with little bloody X's on. Anyway, does it say anything? I don't know. What will it be under? Production and effects? Could be. Oh, I don't bloody know. Hang on, here we go. No. Don't know. Never mind. TLDR. They were created for First Contact. Yes, they are the First Contact ones, aren't they? Yes. So yes, and that came out a bit before this season, didn't it? I can't use it anymore. It freezes my computer. Yes, it's a terrible website. Wiki pages are the bane of the internet. Yeah, all pop-ups and ads and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, so she professes her love for Tom. 7 of 9 still struggling to fit in, but you know, I'll try and do better and all that stuff. Oh, she does, and they want her. These other aliens, they want 7 of 9, or they'll not. They've got the warp core, by the way, and they'll not give the warp core back or whatever, something like that, something along them lines. And she says, "Okay, I'll go. You know, I will sacrifice myself, the needs of the many, and all that stuff." But Janeway's having none of that, and 7 says, "Well, I can design something, or we can make something that'll help you," essentially. So that's what they do. And 7 of 9 will help them. It's for their engines. It'll like a replicator that'll replicate fuel for their engines or something along them lines. And she says, "The Borg have that technology. I can help them build it." And so there we go. So they said, "Okie dokie then." And then Voyager goes and picks them up just before they die. And there we go. They are now a couple, but not quite, sort of. Yeah, it's all right. I probably would skip it if it wasn't for this bit. You know, I'm not really bothered about all the other stuff that happens. It's the Tom and B'Elanna that is the important part of this episode, because it goes on, doesn't it? And we know Tom and B'Elanna become the couple of Voyager, don't they? For the rest of the run of the series. But anyway, yeah, Day of Honour is okay. Not as bad as I remembered it. I think I get this one mixed up with Barge of the Dead. Have we done that one? If we've done that one, I hope we have. Because I don't like that one. But anyway. Right, next. What's the next episode? It is Nemesis. Oh, this is one I don't like. This might be my least favourite, I'm thinking, maybe. Could be my least favourite episode of this season. I don't like this one, Nemesis. Because I don't really know what's going on in this. Chakotay, there he is on an alien planet, and he ends up fighting with some aliens. Can he remember who he is? I don't know. I'm not sure. Does he or not? But anyway, I don't know. But he ends up fighting with these aliens against their enemies, and it's all a bit convoluted, and their enemies are monsters, but the monsters say that they're the monsters, and it's, you know, it's a bit 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, and it's a shit episode. It genuinely is. Look, it's all there's no like B plot. What's the B plot of this episode? I have no idea. Yeah, and he ends up fighting. Look, he knows the horrors of war. Blah blah blah. Don't care. Moving on. I don't like that episode. Nemesis is poo. It is rubbish. But at least Chakotay gets an episode. But it's whatever. They're also all fake and on a loop to indoctrinate him. That's it, yes. That's it. I couldn't remember if he couldn't remember who he was or not. But anyway. But, yeah. It's still a rubbish episode. It is. But, you know, at least he gets to do some acting. There's Chakotay. Or the actor, should I say. Robert. Right, next. We'll move on from that one. That was a quick one, wasn't it? This next, I like this next one. It's Revulsion. Because it's got Leland Orser in it, and I like Leland Orser. It's been a few Star Trek episodes, hasn't it? And in this one, he plays a hologram. He's on this ship, which kind of looks a bit Romulan, doesn't it? Do you think it's a kit bash? You reckon? I don't know. There's you know, stuff mixed up, and maybe a bit of Cardassian thrown in, or it could just be CG. I don't know. Acting that isn't fake Native American. Yes. At least he's a better actor than Alexander Siddig. I think he's the worst actor in all of Star Trek, Alexander Siddig. Bless him, we all love him. Dr. Bashir. Anyway, right, so where were we? On this alien ship, all the crew are dead. There they are, look. Leland Orser, there he is, plays a hologram who kind of gone mental. He's kind of become a hologram serial killer. He's murdered all his crew because he hates humans because we're dirty and greasy and oily and sweaty and, you know, basically everything that animals are. And he doesn't like that, so he's basically murdered them all, and now he's cleaning the ship. But the ship's breaking down, and he doesn't know what to do. Sorry, Wingray says he definitely gets better, but he's not good for the first few seasons. Who are we on about now? We're on about Dr. Bashir. I just didn't like him all the way through. Anyway. But it got Nana visitor, didn't it? So, how long were they married for a while? They weren't they? Are they still? I don't think they are they? Anyway. Sorry, Nana, not Nana. Anyway, so the ship's breaking down, so it sends out a distress signal, and Voyager obviously responds, and they're all having fun. Look, I presume at Chakotay's expense. I can't remember, but anyway, I don't know what's the B plot on this. Does this one have a B plot? I can't remember. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the plot thing. Obviously, the main plot is going to help this hologram. Dejaron is called, by the way. Yes, it's Harry's falling in love with 7 of 9. I think this one, isn't it? I think. I can't blame him, but anyway. Yeah. And he's done a lot of things since, more than most Trek actors had to do. That's true, yes, he's been in loads of stuff. He was in Kingdom of Heaven, wasn't he, that film, and he's been in Game of Thrones and other stuff. And other stuff. Anyway, so, yeah. So they go, the Doctor and B'Elanna do the beam over, they go take a shuttle. No, the beam over. The beaming, look. I wonder why. I've probably mentioned this before. Let's see him beaming. There we go. Why in each I've probably asked this before. Why does each Star Trek series have to have its own transporter effect? I don't understand why. I don't get it. Is it just because it's a tradition? I don't know. So obviously the original series had its, its shimmery Christmas tree light thing going on, didn't it? And TNG had its lines, didn't it, that beamed. Deep Space Nine had its Cardassian transporters, didn't it? Which were orangey yellow, and Voyager again has ones that are more similar, I think, to the movies. You know, the Star Trek movies of Kirk and all them. It's more similar to that, isn't it? From like Star Trek 2 and all that. Anyway. It says DS9 makes sense. They actually use the TNG version when it is Starfleet ships. Yes, they do. But I always wonder why they have a different thing though. For each series has its own look, doesn't it? For its transporter effect. Anyway, never mind. Right, so they beam over and they're going to help him out, which they do, and they obviously find that there's something wrong with him because he ends up trying to murder B'Elanna, but obviously they get round it. I think Tom's. I think this season we see more of Tom in sick bay. I genuinely don't understand why Tom is essentially the Doctor's nurse. Isn't there anybody else? There's like nearly 150 people on the ship. Isn't there somebody else that they could have work in sick bay a lot more than Tom? He's the bloody helmsman, for crying out loud. You'd think he'd be busy, wouldn't you? But anyway, obviously not. So he tries murdering B'Elanna and all that, so they shut him down and stop him. And he is having... Oh, is this the one where do you wish to copulate and all that stuff? He says, love the updated original series effect in relics, though. Yes. Although... I can't remember now. I'm trying to think. You mean when they got Scotty out of the transporter buffer? But it should have been like a movie version, shouldn't it? I can't remember now without checking what it looked like. Samantha Wildman is a xenobiologist. I would think that gives her some crossover skill. I don't know what you're on about. Anyway. I don't know why you've mentioned Samantha Wildman, but because I've just sorry, Windgrace, I'm cracking up. I was just on about sick bay, wasn't I? Yes, you're probably typing that now. Yes, more than Tom. See, I even forget what I've been talking about myself. Yes, she'd be better in sick bay, wouldn't she? Anyway. This is the bit where do you want to copulate and all that stuff. No, but yeah, all funny and all that stuff. They stop him, they get out, there we go, she's hurt, look, she's got a gash on her head. And there we go, and and they get back and everything's lovely. And, they carry on their merry way. A good episode. I like Revulsion because I like Leland Dawson. I think he's a good actor. Although he does die a lot in his roles that I've seen him in anyway. He's like the American Sean Bean, sort of. It's been a lot of stuff. A good character actor, although he's kind of similar in all of his roles. Kind of jittery in all of his roles. But anyway, it's what he does. Right, next up. It's quite a long season, by the way. This thing's 26 episodes, I think, in this season. But anyway, what's next anyway? Next up, what was that? That one, Nemesis. No, I don't want it. Was Revulsion. Oh, The Raven is next. This is a 7 of 9 episode. Are we here with Da Vinci? Is this Da Vinci's workshop? It looks like it, doesn't it? Doing. They like having some of the characters making clay things out of clay, don't they? Occasionally, for some reason. They did in TNG as well. Masks. Remember Masks? An episode I love, but people seem to hate it. But anyway. But make something out of clay, whatever. She gets a signal. I think she starts. She has a Miranda thing going on here, doesn't she? She has a thing that's similar to what Data had in the episode, the DS9 crossover episode. I forgot what they call it now. That one where Worf goes off and finds them Klingons with them Romulans, and I can't remember what they call the episode now. but Data starts having dreams and stuff, doesn't he, on visions and all that. And she has a thing here, but I called it a Miranda one because it reminded me of Serenity. She sees this flying thing that Da Vinci's designed. That's the one, Birthright Part 1. Thank you, Windgrace. She sees this and she has a flash image. She sees like birds and stuff, and then she has a flash image of the Borg, and then we're going to see a raven's eye and all that. So then we're going to see more ravens. And what's going on? Anyway, so basically, she's kind of, something's happened with her. She's remembering stuff about ravens and that, because that was the name of her parents' ship. And is it this one where we see the time on the Raven as a kid, or is that another episode? I can't remember. It must be another episode. Who are these people? I can't remember. But obviously something's going on with them because they look a bit shifty. Tell you. Wish I could remember stuff like Windgrace does. I do. Right, what they're doing. Negotiating passage through space governed by the Boma. Right, I know that rings a bell. And then 7 steals a shuttle. Yeah, so the Boma don't like trespassers, basically. So they've got to go. I think they agree to go round or something, go round their space or whatever. But then 7 steals a shuttle and flies straight into their space because she's going to look for that ship, but she doesn't really know what she's looking for yet. So they're going anyway. And there we go. Tom and Tuvok, the 2 T's, go after her. Here they are, look, and shooting at her and stuff. And they end up going down to another planet. He beams over. There's Tuvok, and they go down, and she sees they find the ship. Hang on, there we go. Oh, there it is. They find the ship, the Raven. Can't remember the registry. NAR something or other, isn't it? It's like I don't know. It's like a private. It's not a Starfleet ship. It's a Federation ship, but it's not a Starfleet ship. But it was owned, I don't know, whatever, by her leased, I don't know, by her parents, because they were experts on the Borg. So obviously the Federation and all must have known about the Borg for a long time before we met them in the Next Generation. But it mustn't have been, general knowledge, if you know what I mean, like out in the open. Maybe just a select few people and scientists or whatever knew them, and Starfleet higher ups knew about them. I'm guessing, I don't know, but anyway. But the Hansons knew about them somehow, and they must have heard. You think of it? What's the the Elorians must have spoke about them, mustn't they? Back in Kirk's time. Or just after Kirk's time, so maybe that's how they knew about him. But anyway, they were off shadowing a Borg vessel, and then they got assimilated, obviously. But then the ship obviously crashed here, and there we go. So that's it. So they find that there we go. They see the plaque, which doesn't have any. It's just got the Raven on and sod all else. And but then and the Bomar arrive and start shooting, so they get out, and there we go, and everything's fine, and blah blah blah. A decent episode, not amazing, but whatever. It's okay. That's all I can really say about it, to be honest. It's a whatever episode, but nice to see the Raven, I suppose. Next. Now then, what's next? Because I can't bloody remember. Scientific method. Oh, aye, this is another one that did again in Enterprise. There's a few episodes actually that Enterprise kind of nicks ideas off. This is scientific method. They did a similar episode in Enterprise where basically all the crew, weird stuff's happened. They're getting like headaches and all this stuff, but something's going on. What's happening there? I don't know. I can't remember. That's it. They're supposed to have a date or whatever, and Tom couldn't get away and he's late. That's why he's bringing flowers to B'Elanna. Then they start canoodling, and then it all changes. Look, and we can see their bones and skin and all that stuff. And she's like, "Oh, somebody's watching me." So this is it. So somebody's watching them and experimenting on them, basically. Now we see that she's got a headache all the way through the episode, and we learn that they've got basically sticking pins in her head, sort of. And they're experimenting on these as well, and stimulating their, passions, so to speak. I mean, it's basically a better version of the Nagilum episode as well. Yeah, but these are on board, aren't they? Nagilum was just out there being, I forgot the name of the actor, from Terminator. He did the voice, didn't he? But yeah, that is a good episode. Even though I love Nagilum as an entity. Yes, yeah, we didn't see him again. Nagilum or Nagilum, I don't know. Anyway, so they're, they can't help themselves. They're all over each other, Tom and B'Elanna, in this episode. It's because of the aliens. Jamie's getting more and more cranky. Look, Neelix has got some spots which are apparently from like a race relative. Like, the Talaxians had like a subspecies, like from one of their moons or whatever. They interbred with them, and he says, one of his ancestors were of that species. A bit like, I presume, a bit like the Andorians and the Enar. But anyway, so that's what's happening with him. Because it's these aliens. Oh, Chakotay's. They've turned him into Skeletor for some reason. I think that he's just supposed to look really old, but he's more like a bloody Skeletor, doesn't he? But anyway. And then we see, look, there's something inside that's got a barcode on. And there it is. Or is it a QR code? Takes to a website. For the Star Trek podcast. But, anyway, but 7 of 9 suddenly can see him. I think the doctor faffed with something, because I think she complained of a headache or whatever. Suddenly she can see these aliens experimenting on the crew. So she takes it upon herself to save the crew, and then we're going to capture one, and they said nothing you can do about it, and some of your crew may die, but whatever. So they do stop them. Because they're flying towards twin suns. They're going to fly straight through, and that makes them leave because they think the ship will be destroyed. But obviously it isn't. So that's how they get through that. And there we go. A decent episode. I quite like that episode. It is a good one. And I say Enterprise ripped it off, didn't they? A couple of times, to be honest, sort of. Where they're being watched by aliens. There were another one with the aliens experimenting on them, wasn't there, I think. And then there was the episode with the Organians watching them as well, wasn't there? But anyway. Anywho, next. Oh, here we go. Year of Hell. Let me double check. I think it is because it says day 1. Yes, Year of Hell. Parts 1 and 2. That's a season 4. Some cracking episodes. This is another one that is up there. Originally, season 4 was supposed to be the Year of Hell, because it did get mentioned back in season 3, towards the end of season 3. The one where with Kez were going backwards and forwards, or going back through time or whatever, or going backwards and forwards, or I can't remember. But anyway, time were buggering her up, and it was mentioned, the Year of Hell. That were mentioned. So it's coming up now. Anyway, season 4 was supposed to be, the whole season was supposed to be the Year of Hell and them dealing with it. And but then decided no, we'll just do it as a 2-parter, which is probably for the best. But yeah, so here we go. We see a planet, and a big shadow comes over it. It is, and it's the time ship of the Krenim. And there we go. It beams a beam down, and the city disappears. And there we see the Krenim. And they've changed time. They've erased that species from existence. And there he is. There's Kurtwood Smith as Anorax, which is not a great name, is it? It doesn't wear an anorak once, I don't think, in this episode. Anyway, you may remember him as the president of the Federation in Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. I think he's been in something else in Star Trek as well, but I'm blanking, I can't remember. But anyway, so there we go. So they're changing time. Just letting us know about that. Anyway, Voyager, oh man, astrometrics. It's supposed to be for anachronism. Is that what Anorax anachronism? A bit of a stretch, isn't it? Anyway, astrometrics. 7 of 9 and Harry Kim have done the astrometric lab, which will help them get home faster somehow. I'm not exactly sure how, but they can plot better courses and it'll knock 10 years off their journey or something, because they can scan all this stuff amazingly well, because it's got Borg technology in it. It's magic. It's Borg magic. But anyway, there's a nice little funny thing, because the Doctor starts doing his little speech, and there we go. Then he gets interrupted because ships appear. There we go, and it's a Krenim ship saying, "Leave this space, or you will be destroyed," and all that stuff. And they said, "Well, no, because you're rubbish, because the ship is not very powerful." But anyway, so they carry on, and then they come across some other aliens whose name I can't remember, but. It reminds me of somebody, and I can't think who. But anyway, they meet these friendly aliens, and they say, "Oh, ignore the Krenim. They used to control this space, but not anymore." But anyway, as we're doing it here now. Is it this bit? As they're doing the, there we go. As they're talking to these Krenim, then a time wave appears from earlier on and washes over them, makes the goody people disappear, and the Krenim ship suddenly becomes more powerful. We learn that over the last week, Voyager has encountered these Krenim ships, and they just attack them. And Voyager's got rocks all over the bridge, because and anyway. Anyway, we learn that the Krenim use chronoton, is it chronoton? Something like that. Chronoton torpedoes that are out of time phase. Anyway, so she says it's going to be the week of hell. Does Janeway? But anyway, meanwhile, Anorax, he's doing all this stuff. They've been doing it for hundreds of years. They're protected in their big ship from the time. Their changes to the timeline. They've been doing it, so they're not getting any older. They've been faffing about with time for hundreds of years. I'm guessing it's got a limit to how the changes they make affect the rest of the galaxy. But anyway, I don't know. So anyway, Voyager's just getting pummeled by the Krenim. There's nothing they can seem to do, because they can't match the Krenim torpedoes. Anyway, the ship's falling apart now, and they're stuck in a turbo lift since she's broken a leg. And they get a mention of first contact, because for some reason B'Elanna can't remember the name of the Phoenix. One of the most famous ships probably in Federation history, but never mind. Anyway, they get in the last attack. A Krenim torpedo gets lodged in Voyager, doesn't detonate, so she can get readings, can 7 of 9, and match the torpedo's frequency so they can defend. Anyway, the torpedo detonates. Tuvok gets blinded. the ship's falling apart and all that stuff. And the Krenim recognise Voyagers because they do their shields to protect Voyager from the chronoton torpedo. It's not that, is it? But whatever, the time torpedoes. And that also protects them from the changes to the timeline when Anorax does his stuff again. And this is where they notice that Voyager is not an inert component anymore. Well, she did drop out of school, that's true. Anyway, so at the end of the first episode, I think Anorax kidnaps Chakotay and Tom. And there we go. And the crew, they abandon ship and just leave a skeleton crew, which is basically just the main characters on board. The rest of the crew, they will head off in shuttles and escape pods, and it's to be continued, which it is in the next episode. Hang on, let's get on with it. So yeah, so in the second episode, Tom and Chakotay living the high life on Anorax's ship. Does it have a name? I don't know if I don't think it has a name, does it? Anyway. And Chakotay seems, I don't know, kind of taken with Anorax, but Tom's having none of it. He calls him a monster and all that stuff. But Chakotay is saying, no, think about it. He's not a monster, but obviously he's mental. What he's trying to do is trying to bring back the Krenim Imperium back to its way, its size that it was when he lived in it. But he can't quite do it. He can't quite get it right. And every time, he changes the timeline. He's trying to bring back the colony that had his wife and kids. Oh, pardon me. Do the escape pods have the time shields? I think they're hoping that they won't get noticed. That's what I'm thinking, but I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how easy it is to change shields. Do they have shields at all? I have no idea. Anyway. So he initially starts helping Anorax, and then obviously thinks better of it when he shows how deranged he is. Meanwhile, Voyager's getting more and more pummeled, and the crew are Janeway's getting more and more scarred. And anyway, they end up forming an alliance and going up against Anorax and his ship. And Janeway basically rams Voyager into Anorax's ship and blows it up. There we go. And thankfully, it resets the timeline. Here she comes, look. There we go. Blows up the ship. Kaboom! Cool. And then everything's reset. Here it goes. There we go. And so everything's back to normal. It says day one. I think it says day one. Maybe not. I thought it did. Was it? There we go. It was back to day one again. So they've gone back in time. Back to the beginning. And they come across that ship again. And he says, avoid this space, Cosfor. And they go, okay, we'll go around. Why did they do that first time? I don't know. But anyway, never. It's like that episode in TNG, innit? With the clues, where if they just at the end they just decide to do something different to what they did previously. That's what happens here. Winger says, although I guess if Voyager is a fixed point in time, they'll always be coming from a point in time that doesn't change, so probably fine. Okie dokie. But anyway, so there we go. So everything's back to normal, and they're going round the Krenim Imperium, or what's left of it, this time, thankfully. Meanwhile, Anorax is with his missus. But I don't get it now, because now it's just been like a year, but they've been doing what they've been doing for 200 years. Because are we looking back in time now? I'm not sure. It's all timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, because we see Anorax back on his colony with his wife, and we see that, there we go, he's got his pad with his time computations on. So is it going to start again? Maybe it will, I don't know. So, is that looking back in time? But he decides to go off with his missus and have a walk. So there we go. But anyway, great couple of episodes, Year of Hell. Imagine what it'd have been like if there'd been an actual season of hell. That'd have been cool, wouldn't it? But it kind of is anyway, because loads of stuff happens this season. But yeah, great two-parter. That's it's not the only two. We could get another great two-parter later on. But yeah, Year of Hell, a great one. Well worth a watch. Don't skip that one. Next up, Random Thoughts. This one. Yeah, so another one that's okay. That's okay. This is one where I think have they done a similar thing in like Orville or another Star Trek? I can't remember. It seems familiar to me. Where they're on a planet of telepaths and Torres Torres has a random thought, but these telepaths pick up on it and basically start killing each other, essentially. There's more to it than that. Wiggum says it would have been cool, but would they have still reset it? So that's it. It'd have to go back to the beginning of the year, wouldn't it? So it'd be like wiping out that season. So they'd have to have 8 seasons of Voyager, wouldn't they? A season that gets undone feels like a punch, yeah. So that's probably why they just decided to go for a 2-parter. Anyway, so basically, Torres has an aggressive thought. TNG sort of did it with the telepath, I can't remember. It does ring. It just seemed familiar. This plot. Like I said, they do recycle plots quite a bit, don't they? But anyway, I think somebody bumps into Torres or whatever. Is it? Anyway, somebody bumps into Torres, so she has a in violations. Yes, well, it's got telepaths in it. I don't think I'm thinking of that. I might be thinking of that episode of The Orville where somebody did something. I don't know, I can't remember. I think it's the only episode of Keiko, not O'Brien. I don't know. I can't remember. I know which episode you're on about, but I can't remember the minutiae. Anyway, somebody bumps into Torres, and so she has an angry thought, and obviously this planet of telepaths, a couple of them pick up on it and get super violent. A fella dies. Torres is blamed for it, so she's going to be arrested. She's the investigator or whatever. Tuvok's doing his own investigation. Anyway, the upshot of it is some people on this planet are basically buying and selling aggressive thoughts, because, like I said, aggression has been weaned out of the society, because they have super strict laws against it. Only Orville I can think of when Derulio makes everyone horny for him. I can't remember that episode. I don't even know who Derulio is. Oh dear. Anyway, Tuvok uncovers this ring of people selling aggressive thoughts and stuff. It's almost like a drug to them. So anyway, so they obviously she gets cleared. There's Bellana, and they move on their merry way, leaving what's the word? Prime Directive be damned. Off they go. The blue guy that shoots goo out of his face is the one who broke Ed and Kelly up. Oh, right, yeah. All right, I know what you mean now. Still can't remember that episode, though. Anyway. So that's, Random Thoughts. A decent episode, not too bad. I'm not usually a fan of episodes where, a member of the crew gets accused of a crime. They've got to work out, obviously didn't do it, or she didn't do it, whatever. It's one of them. Your bog standard episode, but it's okay. Next up. It's another one that I don't like. Concerning Flight. Because it's a Da Vinci episode, and I'm not a huge fan of the Da Vinci ones. Voyager gets attacked, doesn't it? And some parts of it get stolen. Like pirates attack and steal stuff from Voyager, so they've got to go chasing after them. So they end up chasing after who stole them. They end up at another planet, and all the stuff's like scattered about. It's been sold off, so they've got to find ways to get their stuff back. And one of the things that was stolen was essentially Da Vinci from the holodeck, and he's been working. There he is. He's been working for this bloke. I think it's the bloke that stole the thing. Wingate says, I love this episode, but it's goofy. I'm not a big fan of it. It's not terrible, though. You know, it's not as bad as Nemesis. Yeah, so they've got to get their stuff back. Blah, de blah, blah. Basically going up against, a criminal gang, so to speak, who are after them. Because she gets stuck on the planet as Janeway. With Da Vinci. Kind of reminds me a little bit of The Most Toys. I think the fella, the main baddie. I can't remember if it's him or not. Anyway. And they end up having to build that hang glider. There we go, they're up on a hill. And they've got to build that hang glider to escape from the bad guys. There they go. Just rattle it off. Just rattle it off, look. There it is. I'm sure it'd look exactly... If Da Vinci had to build it himself, it'd looked exactly like that, wouldn't it? Tuvok wearing his Mirror Universe costume. I wasn't paying attention, to be completely honest. Have a look. I wasn't looking. Don't know where, I don't know. I can't see. But at the big... Oh, there we go. That one. Whatever. Anyway, so they escape, they get all the stuff back, and off they go. Very good. Yeah. Whatever. Not my favourite episode, but Grace loves it, so that's all that matters. Next. Now then, what's next? What episode are we up to? Episode 12. So we're getting there, we're nearly halfway. Mortal Coil. I like this one. This is a good one. Because it's a Neelix episode, and it's a really good one. Weirdly. For Neelix. They go on. Neelix goes off on a mission. Oh, there's Naomi Wildman. Is it the same actress that plays her when she gets older? She kind of looks a little bit different. I don't know. Might be the last good Neelix story. Maybe so. I don't know. I can't remember. I'm dreading. I'm dreading getting to the bloody. I forgot his name now. The holodeck one with the characters in. Is it a different actress? All right. I thought it looked different. I didn't know if she was younger. I don't know. But anyway, they go off on a mission. There we go. In a shuttle, and something happens. There it is. Neelix gets killed. There's that some. Oh, piece. An energy beam hits Neelix somewhere. There it is. Look. There it is. Oh, that big zappy thing. Yes, the flotter one. That's the one. But yeah, that episode. Oh dear. I mean, it's up there with the Alexander and Deanna's mother. No, what do you call it there? On TNG, it's up there with that episode. Anyway, yeah, he gets killed. He's actually killed, proper dead. He's Neelix. So they're getting back to Voyager. There's nothing they can do. So, oh no. But I think earlier on, Janeway and Seven had been having, a talk, The juggler and the bubble crown. Yes, the creepy blood path. Yes, that one. Look at me. Those are burping, aren't they? Anyway, he's dead. Earlier on, Janeway and Seven have been having one of their chats, and I think they're talking about like random acts of kindness and stuff like that. And it turns out that 7 of 9 can save Neelix's life because he's been dead for, he hasn't been dead for a long. He's been there for a few hours, but said Borg nanoprobes can rejuvenate him. So I said, okie dokie. So they bring him back to life. And then he's, oh right, I'm alive, cool. But then he starts having a crisis of faith because in Talaxian tradition, as in human tradition as well, and stuff like that, he's supposed to go to like the Great Forest or something. It's like the afterlife. Supposed to go to the afterlife, and his family will be there that are dead to greet him. But that never happened. He never went there. But so he starts having this crisis of faith and starts feeling, survivor guilt, I suppose you could say, and he starts getting all kind of suicidal and stuff like that. And he tries to do himself in, and then he starts having these. He does a vision quest with Chakotay, and that's why this happens. I think this is his sister, I think. In a vision quest, but it's obviously not really her. And she starts saying, "You should be dead, and you should, take your own life and all that stuff." So he goes round saying goodbye to everybody, and then he's going to go and basically beam himself to death. And Chakotay stops him, and I'm sat roaring at the end of this one, to be honest. And Chakotay talks him down, and he's saying, "I'm worthless. Nobody." I've got nothing to do here anyway. And Chakotay says, "No, you're needed. We need you." And he says, "But I never saw the Great Forest or the afterlife and all that stuff." And Chakotay says, "Well, you don't know, do you? Because who knows when you die what's going to happen? Maybe when you die properly next time, you'll see it." He don't say that, but it's along them lines. Which end yourself scene hits harder, this or O'Brien? Well, this is it. They're both good scenes, aren't they? But I think they're both, in the words of Trump, I'd say equal. But anyway, so but he talks him down and says, "You're needed." It's nice to see, because Neelix is kind of a bit of a joke, a bit butt of jokes of the crew. I don't know how he's put up with it for so long, to be honest. You think the first sign of another Talaxian would be off, wouldn't you? He sticks around. So he realises he's needed aboard, and they do take the mickey of him, but they all love Neelix and all that stuff. So there we go. And who would be around to look after Naomi Wildman while his mother's there? She just comes in and says, "I thought you're supposed to be babysitting for me." She must have a hot date in the mess hall. And he says, "Oh, sorry, I was just going to top myself." So he doesn't say that, obviously. He says, "Okay, duty calls." So off he goes, and he's there with tears in his eyes, and she's like, "What? Have I missed something?" So there we go. So off he goes. Tells her a bedtime story, young Naomi. There we go, about the Great Forest and all that. And it's a lovely one. Is this the next episode? Have I skipped an episode? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Or is this the same one again? Don't know. Properties, is it going to tell me? Yes, it's the same one. Right, fair enough. Skip to the next one. It's a good episode, is Mortal Coil. I like that one. Ethan Phillips showing off his acting chops. It is a good one. Next up. What's next? Waking Moments. Trying to remember this one. The crew become trapped in a shared nightmare generated by alien technology. Only Chakotay, through his Native American, they call them Indians, don't they, in this, spiritual capabilities can save them. I'm trying to remember this. I can't remember this bugger. See if it rings a bell. Yes, of course, yes. Tuvok goes to the bridge naked, because, you know. Oh, damn it, stop burping. Yeah, so there we go. Yes, they're all having kind of weird dreams, and it's a little bit like schisms, isn't it, in TNG, where, you know, the subspace aliens are faffing about with people, and it's along them lines. As I said, you know, there's only so many storylines, isn't there? So, you know, variations on the theme. Chikato, that the Tuviks of Chakotay, and who? I don't know. Mugato, Maguto, Migato. Dear. So yeah, so that's it. They're all either not getting much sleep, or they're going into like weird. They're not comas, but they just can't wake them up. There's more and more of them. So Chakotay is going to go into his, like I say, uses his super duper Native American powers and encounters this alien, and all that stuff. I can't really remember what happens in this episode. obviously memorable, isn't it? But yeah, I can't remember how they beat him. Genuinely can't remember. I'm going to have to look up the bloody plot. I have forgotten this episode. I remember bits of it, but you'll know when you get to my age. How do they beat him? Uses his lucid dreaming to escape the collective unconscious. Locates the planet that is generating the neurogenic field, which is keeping the new crew unconscious. Keeping the crew unconscious and asleep. So he beams down, and the doctor he threatens them with death, and they decide to let them go. But then they have a bit of insomnia. Yeah, whatever. That's it. This episode was okay, even though I can't remember it. But whatever, we'll move on. Oh dear. Message in a bottle. Oh, this is another popular episode. Is this the one? Yeah, where they find the ancient communications network, which doesn't last very long, but never mind. We never found out. Did we ever find out who built it? I don't think we did we? Because they kind of did away with it, unfortunately, which is a bit rubbish. Anyway, is this? Are we starting now with episodes where Roxanne Biggs is pregnant because she started wearing her baggy outfits and they don't show her from the waist down or the chest down, do they? Very often. So I think she's showing because she got pregnant, didn't she? Anyway, they find. Hang on. There we go. They find this ancient communications network, and then they pick up a signal from a Starfleet ship. Oh, for Pete's sake! They're going to show us it. Oh, for God's sake! And there it is, a Starfleet, but it's in the Alpha Quadrant. So they've used this network to bounce the signal all the way back to the Alpha Quadrant. They see a Starfleet ship. So, wow! It turns out it's the Prometheus. And the only way they can't try sending a signal, but that doesn't work. So they decide to send the Doctor instead. They're sending him through the network, and so off he goes on an away mission. There we go, and he ends up. They send him as a signal in a beam. Not beams, but appears in the sick bay of the Prometheus, which is an experimental ship. And then we see that it's been taken over by Romulans. There they are. Look, and this is what's his name? Can't remember the name of the bloody actor. Just a minute. If it is who I'm thinking it is. Yes, it's Judson Scott from Star Trek 2. There he is. Judson, but he plays a Romulan in this. They've taken over the Prometheus and all the crew. I can't remember. They're dead. They must be. I don't know. I can't remember what's happened to the crew, to be honest. Or have they escaped? I don't know what's happened to them. Does it say? Does it say? Yes, they've killed everybody. Yes, they have. Right. Yes, the crew is dead, says Wingrace. I couldn't remember if that had happened though. But anyway, yeah. So you enlist the help of the Prometheus's EMH, played by Andy Dick, who apparently is a bit of a dick. But anyway, so they team up to beat the Romulans. There they are, and. Some Federation ships arrive, and so they all team up and take on some Romulan ships as well. I think we meet the Hirogen, don't we? There we are, for the first time. The Hirogen, there they are, claim ownership of the communications network, even though they didn't build it, as far as we could tell. It's been there like hundreds of thousands of years, apparently. We never knew who built it, I don't think. But here we are. For the first couple of episodes, we'll see the Hirogen. They're kind of, formidable and imposing. And then they make them rubbish. But anyway. So he's saying, stop sending this thing, stop using our communications thing. So 7 of 9 basically zaps him. And, but anyway. So they continue, monitoring. And the Doctor, the Doctor finishes his mission. There he is. Fight off the Romulans with the help of some Federation ships. Oh, where are they? There they are. Look cool. Oh, look, a Defiant class one, and whatever that is. I don't know. Defeat the Romulans, and it tells Starfleet that the Voyager is still intact and the crew are alive in the Delta Quadrant. They're on the way home, so now they know they are not alone. So anyway, they bring him back, and he tells them, and we see Janeway all tearing up. Look, we're not alone anymore, and it's a cool episode, and a popular one. One of the most, I think it's one of the most popular episodes of Voyager, I think. But yeah, it is a good one and an important one, and it's a shame that they didn't hang on to this communications network longer, but never mind, because it'd be nice to know who built it. But obviously an impressive race back in the day, because it goes all the way to the Alpha Quadrant. But anyway, so there we go, that's Message in the Bottle. Decent episode. What's next? What's the next episode? I think it's Hunters next, isn't it? Yes, it is Hunters next. So the next couple of episodes, it's a Hirogen-based episode. Doctor comes back. Federation is gone. Something called the Dominion. Yes, he learns about the Dominion War, doesn't he, in that episode? Because at that time, the Romulans hadn't joined the Federation in their fight against the Dominion. But Sisko will see to that, won't he? In Deep Space Nine. Anyway, hunters. This is where we learn about the Hirogen, that are a species of hunters. There they are. Supposed to be like predators. Look, they've got their skulls on the wall, and they're after Voyager basically. Is this the one with? Is it Tiny Ron or whatever he's called? Probably getting it wrong. Yes, Tiny Ron as the Alpha Hirogen. He played. Bloody name now. Zek, Grand Nagus Zek's assistant, didn't he, on Deep Space Nine? Tiny Ron. Big tall fella, never said much. Anyway. So yeah, so here we go. They find a ship adrift in space, and there's nobody left alive on board, but they find basically a skinned alien. So obviously, somebody's taken like trophies and stuff. So this is where we learn that the Hirogen are hunters, and there are species of hunters. That's their existence is all about. I don't even know if they have a home planet. I don't know if they mention it. Were their home planet lost, or they've been out hunting that long they don't know where they're from? I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, so I think 7 of 9 and Tuvok, I think, end up. There they are, actually in a shuttle. They end up getting captured. Oh my! Because they're going to check out that array. They find. Oops. Where is it? They go to one of the subspace relay things that go all the way back to the Federation. They're going to try and fix it. 'Cause something's up with it. But they get attacked by the Hirogen and get captured and taken aboard the Hirogen ship. There they are. This is where we see, the Hirogen are huge aliens, nearly 8 feet tall and all that stuff. Throwing them about, and then they just become rubbish, later. Even really the next episode, to be completely honest, but maybe this one was just a big version of a Hirogen, a big specimen. But they should have kept them big, shouldn't they? They should have had wrestlers playing them or something. But anyway, but obviously they beat them, and yes. We learned that the array, the communications array, uses a force quantum singularity, so built by Romulans. And I think the network gets destroyed, doesn't it? Here, I think, because like I said, it blows up or whatever, or collapses. There we go. And I think it destroys the network. I think. Let's let me check. I don't know if it's this episode or the next one. Because they're getting letters from Starfleet, by the way. Yes, the network gets destroyed in this episode, so they get no more messages from Starfleet, unfortunately. But never mind. But everything works out okay. But now they've got a new enemy in the Hirogen, because the Hirogen claimed that communications network, and now Voyager's destroyed it, or disabled it. I don't know if it's destroyed, but it's disabled permanently. But there we go. A decent episode. But the next one I think is a bit better, because the next one is called Prey. There's Hirogen again. This time with Tony Todd as the main Hirogen in this one. And they're after a species 8472. So they're after them. There they are. And they want to claim it, for their prey. And obviously it's not going down easily. They come across them. There's Voyager. They come across this Hirogen ship, and they find the Alpha Hirogen, who is Tony Todd. All the others are dead. He's still alive. But little do they know, there's actually here we go. It's showing us here. Look, that the species 8472, what they've been tracking, is still alive, and it's on the outside of Voyager. Look, wow, cool. There we go. So they've got to team up with the Hirogen. There's Tony Todd. I think it's Tony Todd. Just let me check. I'm pretty sure it is. It sounds like him anyway. Yes, it is Tony Todd. Got to team up with him to neutralise the Hirogen. So, but anyway, obviously he wants to hunt it and claim it as his prey. They decide, the Starfleet crew, that they want to communicate with it. They find it in a corridor. Look, injured, and it just wants to go home. But it doesn't work out like that. The butting heads again is Janeway and 7 of 9. She says, we're going to help it and send it home. 7 of 9, I want you to open up the doorway to fluidic space so it can go home. She says, no, I'm not doing it. And she refuses. So, and she kills. She's also, think she shoots the killing shot. No, she beams it into space or something. She does something with it, doesn't she? I think she beams it into space. Is that what she's doing here? But anyway, doing what the captain didn't want her to do, but she felt it were necessary for the safety of the ship. And so there we go. So now she's reprimanding her and saying you're confined to the cargo bay and all that stuff. So I said they're not getting on well. And by the way, she's got rid of a silver suit. By the way, probably did ages ago, but I'm just noticing now. But yeah, Prey is a good episode. We've got some more good Hirogen episodes, but the Hirogen themselves start getting watered down more and more. But they did that a lot in Star Trek, didn't they? The Species 8472 gets watered down as well, but never mind. Next. Which is this one? Retrospect. What's this one? After experiencing unsettling hallucinations, again, 7 of 9 is hypnotised by the Doctor, whose analysis reveals a trader might have extracted Borg technology from 7 without her consent. Another one that I don't bloody remember. Another one I don't remember. I wonder if I'd started watching it in bed and fell asleep. Could have done. I don't bloody know. I don't remember this episode. Genuinely don't remember this episode, I tell you. Obviously I've seen it before, because I've seen them all before. But, see if it jogs me memory. Yeah, he makes weapons, doesn't he? Yes, he creates weapons. She gets accused of, like I said, hurting him. Yeah, but I'm trying to think of the details. I can't remember. So he hypnotised to see what happened, and I think it's a case of she's remembering things differently and not right. This is the grape, is it? Oh no. But it turns out he's innocent or something, and she's got to remember, because I think this planet as well, you know, punishments are swift and severe. So even an accusation will ruin his life, this other fella. So he ends up basically, you know, ending himself rather than live with the accusations, even though they're proven wrong. And so she's got to live with that guilt. Oh, crikey, bloody burping. Oh, bloody naughty. So she's got to live with that, that guilt that she falsely accused him. Yes, and he ends himself because she alleged he assaulted her. Yes, it turns out he didn't. So there we go. You know, an episode to ponder about, but not one of the best. As I said, I couldn't remember it. So anyway, so yeah, I'd probably skip it, to be honest, you know, on a rewatch. But yeah, there we go. Next. Oh, we on? Oh no, we're not. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're on The Killing Game, another two-parter. Yes, another two-parter, and a good one as well. The Hirogen have taken over Voyager and basically turned all of Voyager into a big holodeck, and they're sending the Voyager crew in to various simulations, wiping their memories somehow, so they don't remember that they're you know, who they are. They think they're part of the simulation, and it's allowing the Hirogen to go in and do hunting stuff, but they're not really doing any hunting. They're just playing their parts, like in this one where it's like World War II with France. So they're playing these roles and not remembering who they are. And if they get hurt, it's up to the Doctor to patch them back together. and then they're sending them back in again. It turns out that the Alpha Hirogen, he wants a way to save his people and use the holodeck technology so that they don't have to keep going out into space and hunting dangerous aliens and all that stuff. But they're using the crew of Voyager to basically play Germans, play soldiers and stuff. And there are other simulations, like we saw the Klingon one earlier on. I think they're the only two we see, I think. But anyway, so they end up having a big old fight in the holodeck, and then it ends up getting damaged. And we see at the end of the first part, there's a big explosion there. We go to the holodeck. As you can see, it covers several decks, apparently. Not sure how this works, I don't know, but the holodeck kind of bends with space, and not time, but bends with space, or your perception of space. But obviously the holodeck is several decks tall, according to that. But anyway, never mind. So we see it's damaged, and that's how it ends, because it's a shocking scene. But anyway, so then we go on to part 2. Let me see, Janeway's, that's previously on it. The Doctor does something to 7 of 9, so she remembers who she is. So he's going to send her back into the World War II simulation. Meanwhile, Neelix is in a Klingon one. Soldiers, because of the holodeck's damaged, so all the simulations are spreading out into Voyager, because now they've got holo emitters on all the decks. So off they go. But then 7 of 9 and Captain Janeway team up, and they've got to get the ship back from the Hirogen, which obviously they do. They use Roxanne Biggs's real-life pregnancy in this one to show that she's been made pregnant by one of the Nazis. Anyway, so there we go. And obviously, ends up with a big old fight, but she talks some sense into the Hirogen Alpha, does Janeway, and decides on a ceasefire, but his second in command is having none of it. So Janeway ends up fighting with him. There we go. They end up on a chase through Voyager, but she takes him out. And then the Klingons come, because they're all merging all the different simulations. The Klingons come and start fighting Nazis and all that stuff. Only in Star Trek. There we go. She shoots the second in command, who's a baddie. And I think he killed the first in command. He killed the Alpha at the Beta, whatever. But anyway, some more Hirogen ships arrive, but she makes a deal with them. Look, she gives them Moriarty, which is they had Moriarty in one of them, didn't they, in TNG? She gives them that and says, this is breaking the. She's always saying we can't give you our technology, but she just gives them their technology. Use this, you can make your own holodecks. But she obviously trusts the Hirogen more than she did the K's on, I'm guessing. But anyway, so they make a deal. So there they go. Off they go. Away with you, but it's not the last we see of the Hirogen. But it is, I think it is for this season. But they do come back at some point. A good one. It's good as The Killing Game. A good 2-parter. Anyway, what's next? Which is the next one? Vis-a-vis. I didn't get this one. This was a head scratcher for me. Maybe I'm just thick. Make sure the stream is healthy. I'm being freezing up, have I? Oh, about. Anyway, where were we? Vis-a-vis. Tom is working on his car. He's got a car on the holodeck. The doctor says you're supposed to be in sick bay. Said, well, I'm doing this. All right, I'll be right there. Whatever. Blah blah blah. Anyway, they come across a fella in a ship, and they help him out. And it says he's called Steth, and they bring his ship aboard or whatever and help him out, and everything's nice. But something's not quite right about him. And we see that he changes sometimes into a woman, which is a bit weird. But anyway, it turns out he's a baddie, and he's an alien that can, I don't know if he just copies other bodies or jumps into other bodies or something. I don't know, but it's all weird. And he takes Tom's body, there we go, makes himself look like Tom and makes Tom look like him. I don't really understand it, but anyway, off he goes. There he is, he's pretending to be Tom. He's staying on Voyager, he's the baddie, and he sent Tom off looking like he did before in the other ship. Was going to get captured by other people that Steth has. There he is. That's Tom. So that's Steth, who's trying to be Tom. That's Tom, who's thinking, hang on, I've got to get back to Voyager. And he gets captured, and they end up going, you know. Ooh, cracking. Anyway, it's obvious he's not Tom, and they're starting to realise it. That something's up with Tom because he's not acting like Tom. Oh, bloody Nora! You know what it is? Me and my son, we had some KFC for our tea today, and I think it's that. That's disagreeing with me. So if I start throwing up midstream, so to speak. Anyway, so I know there's something wrong, and but he kicks off. There we go, and he starts throttling the captains when they realise it's not Tom. Anyway, right. So where were we? Turns out, where is she? There she is. She's somebody that Steth or whatever his name is, or whatever, has stolen her body, and then I think, is this the original? I don't know, but it looks like somebody off like Babylon 5 or something, doesn't it? But anyway, they go back to Voyager. There we go, and they convince them, you know, about everything, and then suddenly everything's worked out. So this is the original person who was a goodie, and now she's the Steth or whatever they're called as the baddie. I don't know. It's stupid. I don't like this episode. So I don't get it. I'm going to read the thing and see if it tells us. Janeway, Tom, and the real Steth are restored to their proper bodies. And the alien, now trapped back in the woman's body, is taken into custody, and Steth will track down all of his/her previous victims to be restored to their original bodies. It's all very convoluted and stupid. Didn't like this episode very much, to be honest, but never mind. So yeah, that's vis-a-vis. Give it a miss. It's a bit too complicated for its own good. It's just a chance for Tom so that what's his face? I've got his bloody name now. Him could do a bit of acting and pretend, you know, not to be him. But anyway, whatever. Next. What's next? This is the Omega Directive. Yes, another good one. Which, what is it? Starfleet Academy tried to rip off, didn't it? With the Omega molecule. Yeah, this is the one where they find the Omega molecule on another planet, and it's like a religion sort of thing to the Borg, but they've got to destroy it. If a civilization has created an Omega molecule, it could destroy the quadrant or even the whole galaxy or whatever. So it's up to the Voyager crew to find it out and eradicate it, but Seven of Nine doesn't want to do that. She wants to stabilise it because it's perfection to the Borg. It's like God or whatever. But anyway, so they track it to this planet, and where they're being experimented. There it is. There it is. You can see it's all glowing on part of the planet. And so they're going to go and sort it out. But obviously the people on that planet don't want them to faff about with their stuff. But they're going to do it anyway. And I don't get it. Another thing I don't understand. They don't really explain it. The Omega molecule's so unstable it can like destroy, you know, half a planet on subspace and all that stuff. How are they storing it? I don't know. But anyway, so the 7 of 9 creates a device, a chamber where it can be beamed. The Omega molecules that are somehow not stable but not blowing up and destroying everything, I don't know, can be beamed into it and then stabilised somehow with the Borg technology. But they beam it out. It's going to go unstable, but then as she's looking, it goes stable. But there we go, as she watches. But then they beam it out and it blows up. So, but I thought it was stable now, but obviously not. And off they go on their merry way. But yeah. It's a good episode, but I don't get it. I don't understand the logic behind it sometimes. But maybe I'm just too thick. But yeah, it's a good episode. Is the Omega Directive, Omega. Tomato. Next. Unforgettable. Is this the one with Virginia Madsen? I think it is, isn't it? Directed by Andrew Robinson, Garak of Deep Space Nine. I think it's Virginia Madsen. This is the one where a race of aliens. How's it going to show us them? Show us then. Oh, they're finding it here. A race of aliens, somehow their natural ability that other races can't remember them. if they go away, they meet one and then they go off on their merry way, they forget about them after a while because other races can't store them in their memories somehow, and their technology that can remember them, so they've got to plant viruses in the technology to erase stuff. Another one that's overly complicated. Somebody said, oh, this is a good idea for an episode. What if you can't remember these aliens? And then somebody said, yeah, what about the scanners and stuff? The scanners can't remember them either. Yeah, but we've got to explain why. Well, they put a virus in it then. Okay, whatever. So Doctor Who stole this for the silence. Essentially, yeah. Anyway, so it turns out there's a kind of a xenophobic race. They don't want people leaving their race, and it's Virginia Madsen who's gorgeous, but she's basically asking for asylum on Voyager. She remembers she's been on Voyager before. I'm going to burp again. Oh God! She's been on Voyager, I think about a month before or something like that. And her and Chakotay had fallen in love, but Chakotay don't believe her. He's untrusted, don't trust her. But anyway, turns out she was like an agent. She was a hunter or whatever they called them, like a bounty hunter. And she used to track people that tried to leave their society and bring them back, because they're not allowed to leave. But she fell in love with Chakotay, and now she wants to leave. So they send a hunter after her. And so they encounter that hunter, and they fall back in love again. And, but then, so then Chakotay believes her and falls back in love with her. But then the hunter comes back and takes her memories away, so she can't remember Chakotay now. And she rebuffs him. He says, "Stay with me." And she says, "No, don't know who you are," and sods off, because that's women for you. He remembered her, but she's thinking, I'm not giving you a chance, I'm going. I'm out of here. And that's how it ends, with Chakotay with a broken heart. There we go. Not the best episode, but, whatever. It's got Virginia Madsen in, which is a thumbs up from me, because I like Virginia Madsen. Next. Try and get through these last few. Crikey. Living Witness, another classic one. Are you boiling water? No. Is about the sound effects? I don't know. They're just Star Trek sound effects that are playing in the background. If that's what you're on about. Whew. Anyway, where were we? Right, Living Witness. This is the one where the doctor. Actually, it's I kind of like this one as well. Not only because of the main story, but it kind of reminds me of what a mirror universe Voyager might look like. Was a weird squeaking distorted noise that plays sometimes. It'll be I've got the sound effect going on to the beeping and stuff. It's supposed to sound like the bridge. Anyway. Or it could be my chair. I don't know. Or it might be me. It could be me making bloody weird noise. Anyway. So we're seeing an evil Janeway. Who murders people. Look, she's like a mirror universe Janeway. And it turns out it's all in the museum. There we go. In 700 years in the future. And the Voyager incident, the Voyager came to their planet and did loads of bad stuff. Picardo came out and said a sequel to this in Academy Season 3. Too bad it will never happen. Good. Bloody Academy. I see there's rumours that Paramount's trying to sell Starfleet Academy Season 2. Is it Season 2? To Netflix. But if that's the rumour, does that mean it's not going to be on Paramount Plus? It's been cancelled from Paramount Plus? I don't know. But that's what I've seen on X today. But anyway, there's Fandom Pulse that said it, so that might not be true. Anyway. Cracky. I'm not feeling cracky. Let's get through these quick and then I can relax. Anyway, so the Voyager had come to these people 700 years in the past when Voyager visited their planet. They were all evil and bad guys. They intervened in their conflict with neighbours and stuff. There we go. So these were fighting with some of the others. Where are we? Can't see, but anyway, even there. There's two races that were fighting each other. Both sides said the other side were evil, but they all both agree that Voyager were the bad guys. There was even Chakotay's got a big tattoo. Look, looks like when Q wanted to be Chakotay. Rinker says, I don't think that's true. Someone mentioned that they should do that, and now people are claiming it's going to happen. That's the internet, innit? Might give them ideas though, and actually happen. Probably not. I mean, Netflix has been burned twice already, hasn't it, with Star Trek? With Discovery and Prodigy. Would they do it a third time? Don't know. Anyway, so here we go. They're showing that all the crew are evil. The Doctor's an android. The one good thing about this episode for the crew is that Harry Kim's a lieutenant in this. I think it's the only episode where he's a higher rank. I think. Oh, excuse me. Crikey Moses. Anyway, alright, and the Voyager had a squadron of Borg that they could use. Anyway, this scientist that's 700 years, don't know his name, can't remember. He finds the Doctor's backup holographic module and activates it, and the Doctor keeps telling him that's not true. None of this stuff ever happened, or not like this anyway. You're getting all your history wrong. So he's telling him there, look, you're getting it all wrong. So they decide they're going to change their history because he knows. But some of the other people are not happy about it because it turned out some of a fella that became a martyr, turns out he was kind of a terrorist. They blame Voyager for his death and he became like a national hero. It turns out it wasn't like that. It was t'other way around. So it starts social upheavals and, let's say, riots and stuff like that. And, but in the end, it settles down, and the Doctor lives there for many years before heading off back to the Alpha Quadrant. Did he ever get back? I don't know, because we never found out. Did he rank up in Timeless? I think he did. It was also Captain in Endgame. I don't think he ranked up in Timeless, did he? I could be wrong, I don't know. But because he were angry in Timeless, wasn't he? But yes, he were captain of another ship, wasn't he, in Endgame? Yes, so fair enough. I'd forgot about that. Anyway, so there we go. That's Living Witness. Great episode, really good, really good. It's a pity they didn't make the Doctor in Starfleet Academy that Doctor, isn't it? But never mind. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. Anywho, next. Oh dear, what we up to? Demon is next. You could say this is part 1, because we get like a sequel to this. I don't know if it's next season or the season. In the future season, we get a sequel to it, which is quite sad. But anyway. This is the one where they're running out of deuterium somehow. I don't know how, because it's, deuterium's just an isotope of hydrogen, isn't it? So you'd think it'd be pretty, prevalent, but obviously not. But they find a planet that is got loads of deuterium on it. They've got to shut down loads of systems as well, and shut down life support on so many decks. So the people have got to bunk up with others. Anyway, they find this planet that's got deuterium on, but it's a demon class planet. It's called Demon. Is it Y? A Y class planet. So Harry and Tom are going to beam down. They're going to go down the shuttle. That's it, and wear space suits. So would Venus be classed as a demon planet? A Y class? I don't know. Maybe it would. Because loads of deuterium here, so they've got to go and find it. They've got to mine the deuterium. I thought it was a gas, because it's an isotope of hydrogen, isn't it? Deuterium, anyway. Never mind. But they find these little pools, of stuff. And Harry falls in one, and he drags him back out. But then his suit's damaged, and then Tom's suit gets damaged, and they don't know what's going on. So they're going to go look for him in Voyager, and they land Voyager on the planet. And it turns out the upshot of the episode is, and they find Tom and Harry, by the way, and they're fine, they're breathing on the planet. And it turns out it's not them, it's this goo in that pool is a life form, like a mimetic life form. And they want to be alive now. They want to live, so they want samples of DNA, and so they're okay, we'll give you samples of DNA, and they recreate the Voyager crew, and that's and off they go and leave them on the planet there as it goes. Look, that's her talking to them. We'll give you our DNA. And then as the Voyager takes off, there we go. We see the Voyager crew replicated on the planet, and then somehow they replicate Voyager as well in a future episode called Course Oblivion, which is a really good episode, but very sad. But anyway, so there we go. Is that 7 of 9 there? The replicated there as well. Looks like it. Not great CG replicate. Look like something you see on like a model railway thing. Oh dear. But anyway, so there we go. It's a what? The sequel is better. Course Oblivion's a better episode than this, but it sets that up, so I suppose you had to have it, didn't you? But there we go. Next up, nearly there. What's the next episode? Only 2 episodes to go. Yeah, they can go and throw up or whatever. Next episode is 1. Again, another one that kind of gets ripped off in Enterprise. Have they run out of ideas? I don't know. Well, I love Enterprise. But this episode 1, where they're going across a nebula that's dangerous. By the way, Seven of Nine's practicing her social skills and not doing very well on the holodeck, being rubbish at it. But anyway, so they're going across this nebula, and it's too big to go around. As they enter the nebula, they all get ill and they all start burning and stuff. It's probably also where they got the idea for the sphere, in Enterprise, when the spheres did their weird thing and they start making lesions form on the crew. Probably where they got the idea for that as well, from this. This nebulous doing this with them, look, and making burns appear on them so that they go back out. And I don't know why, but the only way that they can get through is if they put people into stasis chambers. So how will that protect them from the radiation from the nebula? I don't know, but the radiation from the nebula is making them, even kills one of the crew. Look, there he is. Look, there you go. So they're gonna get a little cool diagram. So they're gonna take too long to go around, because that's what they always say, that, don't they? So they've got to go through. Are they going through at warp or at impulse? I don't know if it ever says, but I'm guessing impulse. And it'll take them a month to get through. So they're going to put the whole crew into suspended animation, into stasis. So you think they have to replicate 147 or whatever stasis chambers? How much stress would that put on the replicators? I don't know, but anyway. So obviously the Doctor's going to stay. So the radiation is damages their organic tissues and stuff. So they've got to put them in stasis. Don't know how that'll help, but it will. But luckily, 7 of 9 is her nano probes and stuff make her immune to the effect, and the Doctor will stay in command as well. He'll command Voyager as they go through, and 7 of 9 will report to him. That's what she's telling her there. And so there we go. So nobody mentions. I was watching this and I'm thinking nobody's mentioning the biogenic or whatever they're called, gel packs. But never mind. But that does become a problem later on. But nobody's mentioning it at the beginning. I would have done. I said, would it affect, is this radiation going to affect the gel packs? Nobody says anything. They're all rubbish. But anyway, it does. But anyway, it's off they go. As I said, this kind of, they did a version of this in Enterprise, didn't they? Where the crew were asleep and I can't remember who it was. Were it Phlox and T'Pol? I think it was one of them, or both of them. I can't remember. Had to stay awake and as they went over. So I can't remember where they were going across a void or something. I can't really remember. But a similar episode. Anyway, it's off they go. They're going to. In the holodeck. The crew are asleep now. They're in the holodeck again, practicing her social skills, and stuff starts breaking down. She starts there with the gel packs. Look, are starting to get damaged. That's it, Phlox. But he imagined to Paul that were it. Yeah, she showed her asleep at the end, didn't it? Yeah. That was the twist at the end. Yeah. Anyway, so it's damaging the gel packs. They're more trouble than they're worth, them gel packs, in my opinion. You'd think they'd just replace them all. But anyway. She starts having hallucinations and weird dreams and seeing and hearing things and seeing things and all that stuff. And seeing an alien. Now this fella, who turns out is not real, apparently. But, yeah. The Doctor starts having trouble with his mobile emitter. That's why no future ships ever use them again. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, so anyway, the ship starts breaking down, but she's also got to deal with her hallucinations. And even the crew, the Borg, arrive. She's, they're not real. So she's saying, "You're not real. I've got to get through this." And obviously she does. She saves the ship just in time. Basically, is willing to sacrifice herself to get the ship through. There's quite a bit of a time jump actually in this, because it says it's like 17 hours. She asked the computer, how long before we clear the nebula? 17 hours, and then like 5 minutes later, there's no like time jump. She just like walk from one place to another, and it says, how long before we exit the nebula? It's like 14 minutes. And like, what happened to the 17 hours? Anyway, never mind. So yes, so there we go. So she's done her job and saved them all, and they're all happy. And yay, 7 of 9's one of us now. And she's even sitting with the crew, look, and having fun. And off they go. So there we go. And it's an okay episode. I didn't mind it. It's fine. And next, the last one, I think. Yes, it is. This is the last one. Hope and Fear. We don't get a cliffhanger for season 4 for some weird reason. I don't know why. But it's where we see the what they call Velocity Court, which I don't know if we ever see it again. I don't know. Windgrace will tell me otherwise. Jayway's really good at it. She keeps beating 7 of 9, and 7 of 9 wants to carry on. He says, "No, I'm busy, so bugger off." But anyway, so they're butting heads again. And we learn that Janeway's still trying to decipher the signal. They've got a signal, through that array at the beginning of the season. They've been trying all season to decipher this scrambled signal that they got. They're not having much luck at it. There it is. Look, decryption algorithm. Trying to see what Starfleet were telling them. And she can't do it. But anyway, it turns out Tom and Neelix have been to a space station or whatever, an outpost. They've got loads of supplies, and also a passenger who helped them out. So here we go. So this is where we meet Ray Wise as whatever he's called. I forgot his name. Arturis, I think. Yes, I remembered something. As Arturis, species, I've forgotten, 152 or something. I can't remember. Have a look. It turns out he can speak 4,000 languages. Does it say? I'm just seeing if it says. Dear. It doesn't say. Never mind. It doesn't matter. So he's hitching a lift. Anyway, it turns out his race are really good at like deciphering languages and learning languages, and also seeing patterns in things. So she asks if he can have a look at the message that they got and see if they can help decrypt it. So he has a look, and he does. It turns out there's a ship. There's some coordinates and a ship there. And a message from Admiral somebody or other, and they've sent a ship to go and collect them, the USS Dauntless. I'm going to show it. Beamed over. Where is it? Show it from the outside. Oh, for crying out bloody loud! Where is it? Come on, put it on screen. There it is. The USS Dauntless. Also, the species of the Borg Queen. Is that the same species? Oh right, I didn't know that. I didn't know they were the same one. Because I can't remember what number she said. I know that later on the Borg Queen does say what species she was, doesn't she? But that was the other Borg Queen, not the Alice Krieg Borg Queen. It was the other one whose name I forgot. But anyway, I think I could be wrong. Probably am. Anyway, there's the Dauntless NX-01A. Don't know why that is, but never mind. So anyway, it's got a quantum slipstream drive, and it can get them home in 3 months, but they'll have to leave Voyager behind maybe. So anyway, so there we go. There it goes. Off it goes on its quantum slipstream. They go like, I think it's like 15 light years or something like that in a couple of minutes. It takes Voyager 2 days to catch up to them. Seems a bit a bit long, 15 light years. I think Voyager would be a bit quicker than that, wouldn't you? But anyway, never mind. So everything's cool. They can get back home in 3 months, so they're all happy. But Janeway's uneasy, a bit too easy and a bit convenient. So, you know, check it out and see what you can find out. But anyway, so turns out it is all too easy, because Harry finds something out. Does he notice something? There we go. He notices something weird, because that changes. Look, notices something weird. Turns out it's not really a Starfleet ship, and it's all a big ruse. And Arturis is behind it all, and he's angry because he wants to get Janeway, because Janeway made a deal with the Borg to defeat species 8472, and because of that, his species got assimilated by the Borg, but never mind. But if he's the same species as the Borg Queen, they said in this episode that they'd always eluded the Borg had never been able to assimilate them. 7 of 9 said that, so how could be the same species as the Borg Queen? Or am I thinking two-dimensionally or whatever? Anyway, so it's all a ruse, and he's going to take him back to. He's going to take him to Borg space, to his home world, which has now been assimilated by the Borg, so they can be assimilated. And because he's angry, he doesn't blame 7 of 9, because it was Janeway that caused the assimilation of his race. Anyway, meanwhile, so he's headed off on the Dauntless in its quantum slipstream drive. Luckily, they'd fitted it onto Voyager as well, but they hadn't tested it, so they're heading after them. Anyway, so they break out and stop the ship or slow it down. And Voyager catches up, beams them out. There we go. Oh, bloody Nora. This could end badly. For me, I'm on about. Beam them out, and Voyager heads off in a different direction, and the Dauntless arrives back with loads of Borg cubes around it. We are the Borg. You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile. Not futile. Proper Borg say futile, but for some reason 7 of 9 says futile. She did ask as well. I remember an interview with Jerry Ryan where she did ask, do I pronounce it futile or futile? And she was told futile. Why? Don't know. When did first contact happen in the timeline compared to Scorpion? I don't know. Can't remember. But I'd imagine the Borg Queen had been the Borg Queen for a while. Anyway, never mind. Maybe I'd say if they are the same species, then fair enough. But anyway, so Voyager has carrying on its merry way. They're having their game of velocity again, and blah blah blah, and everything's lovely. They're all friends, and all that stuff. And then they're going to have another go, and it ends. We don't have a to be continued. Why? I don't know, but never mind. Let's have a look. When did First Contact? Star Trek First Contact. Star date. Does it say? 50893. 50893. Right, remember that. 50893. So it's about the same time, isn't it? 'Cause it's the beginning. I think. I'm not sure. Star Trek Voyager Scorpion star date. Yeah. So first contact happens just before Scorpion. Scorpion is 50984 to 51003. So there we go. So maybe she wasn't the Borg Queen for very long. The Borg Queen is more of a protocol, not always the same body, at least according to Beta Canon or Beta Canon. Is that why she had a different face in the other Voyager episodes? I forgot who played it. It'll come to me. Begin with S. I'm going to have to check it now because it's bothering me. Star Trek. Oh, you'll be typing it now. No. Susanna Thompson. There we go. I told you it began with S. There we go. I bet he's written it already. Yeah, let's put ST up. And Justin's here, right at the end. We're just finished. Just finished. But welcome anyway. Anyway, so that... Oh, what have we done there? So that's the end of Season 4 of Star Trek Voyager. No cliffhanger. I wonder why they didn't have a cliffhanger at the end. I don't know if there's ever been a reason. Does it say? Does it say in this production? Does it say why there's no cliffhanger? I don't know. I'm sure Windgrace will tell me. He'll have seen an interview somewhere where it says. Anywho, so there we go. So that's the end of Voyager Season 4. Totally was busy, but I had to say hello. Hello, Justin. Welcome. So I'm just going to wrap up now and then go and be ill for a bit. I'm not feeling very well, but never mind. As I said, blaming KFC. Anyway, right, so we'll leave it there. So we've got Season 5 next. And I can't remember any episodes in that. What episodes is in Season 5? I'm going to have to check now, aren't I? What episodes are in Season 5? Star Trek Voyager Season 5. Let's have a look. Oh, I've got Equinox, haven't we? That finishes it off. Crikey. Bear with me. Season 5, there we go. I Drone, that's a good episode. I like that one. What else? I didn't like that. It's got that In the Flesh episode, which is that one where the watered down Species 8472, which is stupid. Timeless, that's a good one. What else? Tom gets demoted to ensign in Season 5 and ends up probably by the end of Season 5 be a lieutenant again. Poor Harry. Bride of Chaotica, that's a good one. Dark Frontier, that two-parter with Susanna Thompson as the Borg Queen. Course Oblivion, that's very sad. Think Tank, I like that one as well, where we learn that the Vidian phage has been cured. That one. So there we go. 11:59. It's a rubbish one. Oh dear. And that's part 1 of Equinox. Yeah. So Season 5's pretty good. Justin says, hope you feel better, so do I. He says, can't do KFC, too greasy, always feel like crap. Yeah, or carb. Always feel like carb. Coy. Yeah, I wasn't going to have KFC, but my son demanded KFC, so I thought, I'll get a bucket and I'll have some as well. And I'm not feeling very well. Plus it was nearly cold when it arrived, because we ordered it. I didn't go for it. Never mind. Justin says, KFC good. Yeah, usually it is, but today it's disagreeing with me. The original In the Flesh idea is great sounding. Oh, right, what was that one then? What was the original In the Flesh idea? The one that we got were rubbish, wasn't it? Where the Species 8472 were disguised as humans. Probably in the same manner as the aliens in Galaxy Quest. But anyway, never mind. I'm just waiting for Windgrace to tell us what the original idea was. I don't know. While he's typing that, I will tell you what's coming up next. What day are we on? Wednesday. On Friday. Just a minute. On Friday, for Friday Night Appointment with Fear, we're doing 30 Days of Night, which is a great vampire flick, and I might do the sequel as well, which I can't remember if I watched. Not at the same time. I might do a separate one. An extra, we'll see. Wingris says a duplicate Voyager returns to Earth, but it's 8472. Fake Janeway kills Mark. Cool! Because he bloody well, I would as well. Oh dear. Oh, so it's actually a fake. Oh, right. So we're actually on the real Earth. Oh, bloody no. Anyway, so that would have been cool. That would have been throwing it all into a cocked hat, but it'd have been better than what we got. It's not a bad episode. It's just a bit wishy-washy, isn't it? But anyway, never mind. Get some ginger ale, you will feel better. I think I might have some somewhere. It's probably out of date now, though. But anyway, I'll have some. I've got some here actually. Where have I put them? I've moved them. Oh, never mind. I've got some, indigestion tablets. I'll have a couple of them, and I'll be fine. Anyway, what was that on Friday? So that's that on Friday, and then on Monday we're carrying on our Planet of the Apes reviews. So we're up to Escape from the Planet of the Apes on Monday. Then the Monday after that, it's May the 4th. So that's Star Wars. So we'll be doing Attack of the Clones, and then the next 2 weeks it'll be Planet of the Apes, and then after that it'll be Revenge of the Sith, because it'll be another Star Wars day on May the 25th. So that's what's coming up. That's what's coming up later. Right, we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. I will go and have some indigestion stuff. They used to be able to get. You can't get it anymore. I think the company's gone bust. They used to, in this country, I don't know what you call it, but in this country, I think you're like Alka-Seltzers and stuff like that, but you can't really get them here. But we used to have a thing called Andrews, which is like liver salts. It's that stuff that you put in water, it makes it all fizzy, and then you drink it while it's fizzy. That stuff. That's really good, isn't it, for upset stomachs? But you can't get it anymore. The company has apparently gone into liquidation, and nobody's bought it. You'd think somebody'd snap it up, wouldn't you? They're a big company. But anyway, can't get it anymore in this country. But well, no, you can. You can get it on like Amazon, but it costs an arm and a leg, because I imagine there's still some knocking about, and it's really expensive. But they can't buy it new at the supermarket. First world problems. Never mind. Right, so we're all done and dusted. We'll leave it there. So thanks, Windgrace, for basically telling me what to say in the show, because I kept forgetting things. Because I'm stupid. I can't remember stuff. Some of these episodes I've watched not that long ago, like a couple of weeks ago, whatever, and I've just forgotten entirely what happened in them. I should take notes, shouldn't I? You don't have a store of generic brand? No. It's weird. I don't understand why there isn't. Because it should be a simple thing to make, shouldn't it? It's just a chemical. It's like bicarbonate of soda with something in it that probably makes it fizzy or whatever. I don't know. But you think there would be another brand, but I haven't been able to find one. So I'll have to try. I'll try another. They don't have it in the local supermarket anyway, so I haven't tried. We have other shops like Superdrug and Boots, which are like chemists. I'll have a look in them and see if they've got an alternative. In the meantime, I'll have to make do with indigestion tablets, them that you dissolve in your mouth. Them, I'll have to make do with them. Anyway, right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, Windgrace, for all that stuff, and Justin for popping in right at the end, missing the whole show. But never mind. So we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, and wherever you are, hang on, let's get sorted. Wherever you are, look after each other, live long and prosper, and until next time, if I'm still alive. By the way, after this, and I'll get my stomach settled, I'm going to head out into the dark of my back garden, because it's the Lyrid meteor shower, isn't it, tonight, apparently. So I'm going to see if I can... I'm going to take my camera out and take some long exposures, see if I can get some meteor photos. Notice there, let's see a tripod. There's a tripod there. I'm going to put my camera on. So I'm going to do that in a bit, once I settle down. But anyway. So, what are you sorry for? If you're busy, you're busy. The more important things to do than listen to me waffling on, droning on in my stupid voice. Anyway, so I'm going to do that once I settle myself down. Right, so thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other, and until next time, live long and prosper, and I'll see you and all that stuff.